L3 CEO Michael Strinas is there as well. Michael, very good to have you. I mean, all of this comes at a time. The tax cuts up, and then we're going to have the budget stuff, and then we're going to be hearing talk that they want to still freeze defense spending at its present level. John McCain and others want to increase it. Democrats say if you increase that, you better increase non-defense spending. Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, Neil, it's less than encouraging, even as where we are now, because some of the discussion has been, one, the sequester caps have yet to be raised, and we really can't increase our defense spending beyond those caps under law. And, you know, here we are in December already, and those caps have still not been raised. So that's concerning. There was an ambitious list of initiatives put on the table a year ago that included, you know, health care, infrastructure, tax reform, and more national security spending. And that's all great, but how do we afford it all? And that's always been a concern. And I think that light is going on now on the Hill. And where is all this money going to come from? So the national security or the defense industry has seen about a decade of flat to no growth budgets. And, you know, the warfighters are suffering in a lack of readiness and training. We've created a technology deficit. Our adversaries have caught up, if not surpassed us in certain capabilities, and it's gotten quite serious. So what I find important is a serious commitment to increase defense spending to regain our national security footing.
If you had to choose between tax cuts and more defense spending, and that's the way it was presented to a few folks, how would you feel?
No question, it'd be additional defense spending.
So do you think we are at a disadvantage now in dealing with the North Korean situation as a result?
I do. I think that the period that we've just gone through of no growth in defense spending, and it looks like a lack of commitment on the part of the lawmakers to pass budgets on a timely basis. I think we've gone through almost 10 years of continuing resolutions, have made us look weak. And, you know, Ronald Reagan said, peace through strength. And, you know, we haven't followed those wise words over the past several years. And I think it's emboldened some of our adversaries to take some very provocative actions. And, you know, we find ourselves in a place now that I can't compare to anything else we've seen in terms of the danger it poses. So it's very concerning.
You know, the reason why I mentioned it, Michael, I mean, the family running North Korea has it to whether it's this dictator's father or grandfather that dates all the way back to when Ronald Reagan was in office and prior. No one seems to have gotten the correct handle on how to deal with them. We try sanctions. We try carrot and stick approach and to bring them into the international club, and then the North Koreans hoodwink us. Everyone seems exasperated, you know?
Very much so, and I can't tell you I have a better idea for it, because it's been a very challenging problem dealing with this family over the past 3 generations. And I mean, they're looking for their place on the world stage, and they think that they get there by having a nuclear weapon, and I think it's the wrong answer, and it remains to be seen. It certainly feels like we're one test away from a real problem.
Do you have a sense, I mean, I know your views, if you had your druthers between tax cuts and more defense spending, I certainly see where you're coming from there, Michael, but that these tax cuts are going to have the stimulative effect the president hopes they will, Republicans have been championing, or do you worry that the markets and a lot of the stocks, for example, that would benefit, they've already benefited, and that we're at better than full employment, and there's not much more boom you can get for the buck? What do you think?
Well, I totally agree with that view, Neil. I would say that, you know, the additional cash that can come in through lower rates for corporations is great, but it's only great if you can put it to work in a productive way. And, you know, for our industry, for the defense industry, a flat to declining budget is not an environment where any CEO would invest in plant, equipment, R&D, other technology. I mean, it just doesn't seem to be an environment to invest more cash.
All right.
And on the individual side, you know, I'm a New Yorker, so I am very concerned about the loss of the state and local tax deduction, et cetera. So there's nothing exciting in that tax bill that I see.
For a New Yorker, as a New Jerseyan, I would readily agree. Michael Strinas, thank you very, very much.